Sex Party with your host, Dustin Rybka.
Hello and welcome to Sex Party. I'm your host, Dustin Rybka. With me on the show this week is Brooksie Brooks. She is a streamer on Babestation over in the UK. If you don't know what Babestation is, you're about to find out. They're an amazing, amazing platform, and it's pretty much anything goes over there. And once you hear about it, you're gonna love it. They call her the wettest pussy in the North, and that's for a reason, because she is a squirt queen. She squirted 32 times in 45 minutes. She talks about using more baby oil than Diddy, her words. She talks about doing anal things on stream. We talk extensively about her collabing with other women. We get very, very detailed. She loves when her and the other woman she is collabing with are both covered in each other's cum at the end of the collab. She talks about selling her squirt. We chat about her wildest fan requests. She is also a stripper, which you know that means that I'm going to ask her about her craziest strip club stories. She gives 3 stories, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not even fucking around when I tell you that we get a wild strip club story that tops them all. We get a story that goes down in a strip club that there is absolutely no way that you can be prepared for this. So buckle the fuck up, get out your tarp, and enjoy my conversation with Brooksie Brooks.
This week's conversation.
Brooksie Brooks, love the name. Welcome to Sex Party. How are we doing?
I'm really well. I'm excited to be here, actually, and have a little powwow with you.
Yeah. Clearly, you're not from the United States. The listeners, the viewers can already tell. Where are you right now? Where are you coming to us from?
So I'm in the UK. I'm in the north of the UK, which is a city called Leeds, but people will probably maybe more recognize Manchester. I'm about 30 minutes away from Manchester. So yeah.
Yeah,
always
we love
cold
Manchester.
You love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I don't know, the UK, well, at least for me, I always felt like growing up and stuff, and you know, like you hear about the UK. I've actually been to the UK once, a long story, and I shouldn't tell it because for legal reasons on the podcast.
I don't want to hear it now there. That's funny.
Short version is I had someone I was seeing, and they were just like mad. They were so mad. They were crazy, and like in a good way, and then also in a bad way. And I'm not the guy to say my exes are crazy, because they're not, like, whatever. But this particular person kind of manipulated me into going and staying with her in London for a while, and it was like not a good situation, because she kind of like blackmailed me into it. But that's as far as I'm gonna go. But it's like it was like kind of.
You still love the UK, so she couldn't have done that bad. She must have had some good attributes to seal the deal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, she just
Was she from London? Was she from London?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you wouldn't handle us northerners. You know, the further up north you get, the more crazy we are, because you get less sunlight. So, yeah. We're wild up north.
Well, for some reason, I always associate the UK with like fashion, music, sex. I don't know. I feel like you guys, but I mean, everyone's like, that's not true. Like, there's like you guys' attitudes towards sex. It's like, I always thought it was like more liberal, but maybe it's not. I don't know.
I think it depends where you're looking, to be honest. I think Europe as a whole is quite open with sex. I know that in some states in America it can be quite reserved, so I think that's where the difference is. Also, like, I think we're less censored when it comes to like TV and stuff, so it's definitely more desensitized, I'd say. But obviously you've got kind of like the world that I'm in, and then you've got like what I call the civilian world. So I'd suppose it's a bit more tongue-in-cheek on the other side. But, you know, around and how, because I know that like the adverts and the commercials and stuff in the US when I used to be there were way more censored than in the UK. Like there's definitely a lot more in your face. But talking about it, you know, you've still got that stiff upper lip British sort of vibe, but then you've got big time hoes like me, so it doesn't matter. You gotta have the balance. So no, like all me and my friends, you know, we're all in the industry, so we're very sort of used to just being open about it, and there's a lot more education within the industry and sort of educating people on like what's the sort of assumption and what's the reality, you know?
Well, we love big time hoes, so I mean, you're in the. I think the world revolve. Look, big time hoes make the world go around. We love it.
We take the stress away. You know, not all heroes wear capes, and we are here to serve a purpose. I actually call myself an internet hoe, an interthought, because I'm just like a thought on the internet. But
that's awesome.
Enough to know me in my personal life, of course. But yeah, we interthought.
What is the best part for you of being an interthought?
Just being to be unapologetically myself, to be honest. Like I've got a big personality and I don't really think before I speak a lot. I like to just do me. So that's like a really good aspect to it. Also, I think it's really empowering. Like I first started off in adult industry as a whole, like stripping and dancing, and I was actually really shy then. Not shy, obviously, because I haven't got into it, but like not confident to the sense that I am now. And I do think it sort of builds that confidence within you as a woman, you know. And it also kind of, I don't know, if you've been in the industry a little while, you get to the point where you just don't really give a fuck about opinions. And I don't think that's a bad place to be in the world that we're in now, because everyone's got an opinion on everything. So there's definitely those kind of perks to it. And of course, I get paid to wank. So, I mean, like the dopamine and serotonin from that is on fire the next day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think anybody, I mean, if everyone could get paid to like fucking jerk off and have sex, they would. I mean, what the hell? You know? Listen,
and if anyone says no, they're a liar, because let me tell you, I stream with Babestation on our campsites. Doesn't matter if it's the middle of the night, first thing in the morning, in the evening, if I've got a little twitch that needs itching, you know what I mean? It's great. There's always someone that's going to want to watch. And it is nice when you can, it's nice when you can have a wank together as well. So like I don't know, there's like a bond that kind of gets built there, and it's great. It's, you know, knowing that you're sort of giving someone not the opportunity to enjoy themselves, but just that, I call it an escape from reality for people, right? Because life is stressful, especially for the average working men or women, because I get women on my cam shows as well. And and it's nice to know that you can just have that escape from reality, because it's the same for me. When I'm in my streaming room, you know, that's it. Nothing outside of that world sort of matters for however long I'm live. So it's I know what it does to me. I definitely feel less irritated, stressed, and bogged down by life when I've you know, squirted 32 times in an hour, you know.
Is that your record? I was gonna say, is that your record? 32 times an hour is heavy duty. That's that. So what are you doing to stay hydrated then? Is it just water? Are you using the hydration packets? I mean, come on, give us some tips.
Water. I actually do drink like 3 to 4 liters of water a day, but I do go to the gym and stuff anyway, so I am quite hydrated. But I recently come up with this, I saw it somewhere, and it's done me wonders. It's like this blended fruit drink, and it's got watermelon, mint and lime in it with ice. Blend that, full of electrolytes, super hydration, and afterwards as well. So, you know, because you got to taste
watermelon, mint, and that's dope. That's a good. I like that a lot. Yeah, because
and it's full of electrolytes as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, it's kind of like the it sounds bad. I mean, because like, yo, the secret to drinking water, because I struggle with it too. I mean, I'm like, normally I'm just drinking a lot of vodka, but
Tequila's
lately,
mine. Oh my gosh.
oh shit. Okay.
I love
Yeah.
tequila.
Oh
That's when
shit.
it gets wild. Yeah.
I bet. Oh my god. Okay, so how wild? Forget the water thing. Let's go on. Let's go on this.
Wow. It depends how many
Yeah.
shots. Like I because obviously being a stripper and dancer, it's heavy drinking environment, and I'm also quite tall as well, so I can handle my liquor. So if I'm going for shots, anything can happen, from free race to partying for 2 days to getting my tits out in places I shouldn't be, lots of twerking, and also I'm a bit of an exhibitionist as well. So the more of an audience I have, the worse. Especially
what's your tequila of choice? Do you have a brand that you
like? Don Julio 1942 is my favorite.
Let's
just because I
go.
like it nice and pure and distilled. But I tell you what makes me like the freakiest, and I heard it called this before I had it, and now I understand Casamigos, right? Because Casafrico, like, it turns me into a freak. I've had the most threesomes I've had on Casamigos.
Casafrico. This is. I need my editor to put in like some crazy like salsa music or something nuts right here. Okay, stop. But like that. We are gonna use that for the rest of my life. I don't like that is
Casafrico. Yeah, honestly, it's the one.
Yeah,
and it makes it. Yeah, you're freaking all the way off when you have that one. I think.
I mean, that's usually that's the one I go for over Don Julio's Casamigos, and it is. You're right, because for me, I'm like, if I do like. I always go back to this one time where it's like I did more than like anything. I always say anything over 2 shots of good tequila, you're in like the danger zone. Like you're in trouble. Like so, like if I stop at 2 shots,
bad now because I like actually right. Sorry to interrupt you, but my strip club. Oh my god, I'm on a tequila limited shot per night because my manager, she buys a crate of, right, so this is what she told one of my regular customers that come in. She was like, we buy a crate of tequila every week, and the 6 bottles in the crate, it's gone. Friday, Saturday. So Friday, Saturday are the days that I would work there. It's gone by the end of it. So she's like, they keep putting the price up of the shots, but I keep just getting people to buy them for me. I said, I don't know what you want me to do. I need tequila. It's medicine.
I mean, you're selling their tequila for. I mean, because every shot you're taking is another shot that they have to buy as well, right? And so, but like, if I do over 2 shots, like I'm down. I'm so down, right? Like normally I'm like a vodka dude, but I'll mix some fucking Casa Fricos in there. But yeah, I love it. We use it forever. But like usually after two shots, like I wind up the next day waking up next to like an ex-girlfriend or like a neighbor or like someone, you know, I'm like, oh shit, fuck.
It can do that, but it's fun at the time, and you got. Sometimes it's not about the destination, babes. It's the journey. Do you know what I mean? So
I do know what you mean.
Yeah, and we can all wake up in regret sometimes, just being a bit silly when we're drunk. But isn't it better to have a story to tell? Like,
oh my god, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I've never like done anything like terrible, like. Woken up like why is this bloody knife in my hand or something? You know what I mean?
Like I'm not an aggressive drunk. I'm a slutty drunk. Yeah,
I'm a slutty drunk too. Yeah. It takes. I mean, somebody really has to like hit on me though, because if they don't, then I just don't. I'm like, let's party. Like, I'll just party all night. You know what I mean?
I'm the same.
Yeah.
I am the same. Oh, you gotta be really hot. Like, but if you're really hot and you hit on me, it's going down. That's it. No escape.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that.
I do. Yeah, it's party, isn't it? It's a party drink. It's a horny party drink.
Yeah, because I'm always like the one enticing people to drink more, to turn the music up, to move the party to someone else's place when the neighbors are mad at that place. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'll go for
I
2
want to
days, like
combine
you
with
said.
you. You sound like my like twin flame party spirit here.
I'm telling you, we would raise
Next time I'm in
hell.
Chicago, I'm hitting you up. Like, listen.
Yeah. And like if you ever go to LA, I'm in LA a lot too. So there's always an opportunity. Yeah. That's you gotta find your party people, and so
100%.
Okay, so I have so many questions for you already, but before we get into that, right? And you kind of like already like teased it or talked about it a little bit. Before we get into the main, silly questions that I have for you, and they are silly, let me tell you. They're just coming to me like nonstop. Before we do that, they want me to shut up. They want to know who you are. So could you take a moment, introduce yourself, talk about who you are, what you do, what you're about, the whole thing.
Okay, well, my name is Brooksie Brooks. So good, they named me twice. No, I'm joking. I've got so many cheesy lines, it's crazy. So obviously I work with Babestation. I've been with the company probably about 4 or 5 years now. I do TV and I do web streaming. Web streaming, I tend to do mainly solo shows, but I'll do girl shows as well. And I do daytimes and night times as well. I do perform to quite an explicit level, but I do have viewers and callers that will come for more like socializing chats as well. So there is like I literally cover everything that there is. I'll dabble in a little bit of everything. And yeah, for like streaming and stuff, I've been doing it, like I say, in total since 2019 is how long I've been doing like the TV channels and web streaming. And like I said, I've been with Babestation for the last 5 years because it was a natural progression. I started off with a different company, but with Babestation being more global and having a wider spread audience, that was just the natural progression, because I'd say within the TV channels and the web streaming in the UK, they probably are one of the bigger platforms. So it was a great feeling to get scouted and get into talks and negotiations with them when that happened. And there's loads of stuff that comes along with it as well that's outside of the streaming. Like we do content collab shoots. We'll do feature shows. I do a lot of those. So like themed things, if there's anything anyone's in particular into, like that. Sometimes it's silly stuff as well. Like in the past, I've like filled balloons with like glitter and treats and prizes. And when I get tips on the different rates, we pop a balloon with I'm naked at the time, usually covered in baby oil. I was Diddying before the diddler did it. So I literally, honestly, when all that story broke, right? I don't even know if I want to talk on this, but when all that story broke, I was reading the measurements, right, of all this baby oil. And I was like, that's not actually that bad. Like at the studio in Babestation, they actually provide our oils and baby oils. And I was working it out. I was like, gallons, I was like, I probably go through I go through at least a full bottle and a half per stream show. So, my skin's really soft.
I bet. That's so, awesome.
I do fun things. What else have we done? I did sexy nude twister one time as well. That was fun. So it's like a variation. Like obviously I do, your anals, your squirt shows. I do like all of I'd say obviously there's different avenues within streaming. Like I have friends that do dominatrix and stuff and particularly specialize in that, but I probably describe my working style as, I call it more of a slutty performer, because I do enjoy the wanking part of jerking off, part of it. I really do. And I will tell you something, I've had it before, like where people are in like a one-to-one cam and they'll leave on stream because there's nothing worse than losing a nut. So, yeah.
I know. Yeah.
So that's
amazing. No, they want to hear everything. And I love how detailed you are, because that makes this interview so much more fun, because the details are everything, especially to me. I'm a very detail oriented person. So we love the details. We love the descriptions. And I think, so now I have a plethora, of other questions as well. Don't worry, people, we'll get to them, at least half of them, in my broken podcaster brain. We'll finally get there. But, immediate follow-up question, because we are starting to hear in the adult industry, we are starting to hear Babestation a lot more in the States lately. So do you want to take a moment and explain what Babestation is and how it works and how it's different?
Yeah. I'd love to, actually. So, because they've been really great. I mean, we work with the company. So there's two ways you can do it. You can go into the studio. We have like a huge webcam and TV studio. We've actually got multiple of them in different parts of the country. And you go in and it's crazy in there, because there's just all day, all night, all sorts of crazy things going on. It is 24/7, even the TV element. Obviously, the web streaming, we stream live. So it's all live as well. And it's from 5 a.m. to 5 at night, right? 5 till 5. So it's 24/7. You kind of walk into the studio, you've kind of got a whole team there. So we'll have producers, we have tech guys, maintenance, all on site 24/7 to make sure the quality of what we're putting out there is on top. So they're always checking the streams and always making sure that, you're kind of looking all right, you're in shot, and, that kind of thing, to sort of stop any mishaps happening where someone's off stream for too long and people are watching, because you do have like an audience at all times of the day. From our perspective as a performer, you have like a computer screen, and then you'll have like another two. You've got all these cameras in front of you, all your lighting. Every performer has their own personal webcam room. In the studio, they're kind of set up like little bedrooms, and every girl, it's an individual room. And like I say, they're constantly getting monitored to make sure the quality's good. Usually girls will stream in the studio anything from sort of 5 to 8 hours, depending on what, how the show traffic is going. And then, we do also from home as well. So I'll do both, because the studio is a little bit of a distance for me to travel to. So to maximize it, I created my home stream, but even streaming room. So I got all the lighting and stuff myself and invested in that. So it was like a professional setup. But even at home, we have 24-hour tech support and things like that. And if you have any questions or anything from producers, the producers, lots of things happen throughout a night show. So we constantly have top-up offers and deals and discounts going on throughout the night, which will pop up. So as a viewer, you'll see like a pop-up come up, and it will, so for like an hour, for example, from like 10 till 11, they might have an offer or a deal on where you get free credits with top-ups over a certain amount and stuff. So there's lots of stuff there for the viewers, rather than it just being like a camming platform where everybody's in like doing everything off their own back. Babestation do the good thing about working with them is they'll do a lot of like promotion for you. Like I say, with these content shoots that we're doing, all of the photographers are professional. They hire mansion locations, and you have a full day of shooting, and then all of that content is put out across, all the social medias, PR, press. So it's good if you're wanting to build yourself in the industry, and it really does give you that platform. It also helps you like get to know all the performers. So you've got people that can relate to like the life that you're living. So there's definitely a lot of exposure and elements that are positive about working with that company rather than doing it just solo on a standard streaming platform. They really do try and, like push that out there, because it's not, with Babestation, it's not just a campsite. It's kind of like a bit like a lifestyle, like because we work long hours together. Like I say, a lot of girls travel all over the country. So we have dormitories that we stay in there for a few days, and you end up going out for lunch and going for dinners and having drinks. So it's like a lifestyle rather than just a camming site. And that's really what drew me to doing this variation rather than sites like Work and things like that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it actually, it sounds so cool because it does sound like a lifestyle. It does sound like almost like you would definitely want to, I mean, especially if they have like studios all around the country and there's support there and the guy's like refreshing your baby oil every 20 minutes or whatever for you.
Listen, the Mr. P's, right? So we call our producers Mr. P in case they ever are needed for like what we call tip goal shows. So it's something when you're on live stream, you have a free stream, which just anyone can watch if you are, after they changed all the laws recently about, licensing and all of that. But like, this is like what we call the free chat, the free stream, where people can just kind of like this, really. You're talking away to people. I tend to do less explicit chat on there because obviously the point is to draw people in to have that private time with you. But you'll do like tip goals, and it can be anything from oily twerking to sometimes if you've annoyed Mr. P that day and you have what I call a buzz frenzy, which is a tip goal where they'll just go crazy buzzing your toys. And I'll be like, okay, 10 minutes. And that was for me being too cheeky earlier. So there's a lot of fun attached,
Mr. Punishment is what that P stands for. Yeah.
Punishment sometimes. And I am quite annoyed. I need it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean that definitely tracks with everything that we've learned about you so far. So on Babestation, which is a good thing, right? On Babestation, like how crazy has it gotten? You mentioned like that. I mean, I'm sure there's a fuck machine in there somewhere, obviously.
Yes,
of course, yeah. But like. And you mentioned that you've collabed or you're gonna collab, like you're open to like girl, but can you do can you do guy girl on Babestation or no?
Yeah, you can do everything, like everything and anything. So we have a whole different range of performers really that accommodate to different levels. I said before I do quite explicit, but I don't do boy girl. That's my line where I draw. But I will do girl, and I will do full girl, making girls squirt, eating them out, like everything. As long as you have your certs done and you have an account, we do everything properly there and with health and mind, because, it's a studio where you've got girls coming in and out all the time. Plus the producers have to, the male producers have to be in the mix too. So we want everything healthy, safe, and clean. But there's like performers that will work with their partners, also stunts. We have a section called BSX, which is a hardcore stream. So but that's premium rate. And it's for the VIP channel. So we have, you can just sign up with an account and top up, or you can become a VIP. VIPs of the different level packages get different perks. But one of them is access to all streams, obviously not behind like one-on-one sessions, but we do like BSX, and we also have VIP feature shows where you can do open leg, toy insertion, all of that on the free stream. But it's for VIPs, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so, you know, all of that can go down. And BSX is also streamed on pay-per-view TV as well, at the same time. And at that, you'll be getting phone calls so you can interact directly with your viewer, as well as performing at the same time.
Yeah, I've heard about the pay-per-view piece. Like, this is what I mean about the UK being different. Like, after a certain time of night or something, it's like literally on TV somewhere.
Yeah, but it is pay-per-view though. So it's not just on other channels. But I mean, like, Babestation is on TV. It's on Sky and it's on Freeview. After 10 p.m, it is on TV. But it is, again, the standard TV channel. We do have Ofcom rules that we have to stick by. So at night time, it's a little bit more liberal, but not as much as you think. You know, you are allowed to be topless in lingerie. You can be a little bit more explicit with, I get told off a lot, but facial expressions, being too sexual. But obviously, it is. How's that?
Well, I mean, like, what are you doing that they're saying you're too sexual? Like, give me an example.
Too much cum face, I think, and reenacting orgasms obviously too well. So
too much cum face. Oh my God. Good for you.
Well, actually, I mean, look, you got to give the people what they want. So, you know, I like to give an authentic experience, you know. So a lot of the time when I talk through role plays on phones, this is on TV, but also on web stream, because I will take phone calls on web as well. I always talk, my scenarios that I go through are usually things that I've experienced myself. And then when I'm, you know, how you're saying quite descriptive, it means then that I can really go for it because it's something I know that. So you can add that all into the mix, you know, for phone chat.
Yeah. Well, okay. So immediately, two questions. One, and take as much time as you want to answer them or whatever. Obviously, two. Because we love the details again, you know, that makes the interview so great. So with the guy girl thing, is that something that you've never done with sex work at all? Is it something that you're just saying? Okay.
I've done it a lot in my personal life, like, and that's for me why. I mean, I'm bisexual, but I probably I've had relationships with girls, but I probably had more with males. And it's just something that I like to keep because I do like to do that kind of thing. But I like to do it with a partner. I'm not saying that, you know, if I locked in with someone, me and that person wouldn't then open that doorway. I've just not really been in that situation before. And I think because I've been in the industry for a while now, I, you know, don't want to just give that up for the first person, you know, so it would have to be someone I'm locked in with. But yeah, I mean, I'm definite. I mean, I've got this phone's full of home movies, let me tell you, from every angle. because I do content. When I do it at home, I like to get the light in it.
Yeah.
You know?
So you do shoot you do shoot guy girl content, but like for like OnlyFans or something like that. Is that what you're saying?
No, just for personal.
Just for yourself.
Yeah.
Love that. That's awesome. Good for you. Yeah.
That's why I want to keep it like that until I get to the next level with someone that I'm locked in with. Just because it's a nice thing that once I get to that level, if I get to that with somebody, then that would be my partner to perform with, you know? But girl stuff, I mean, I do a lot of that, and I do like I say, full explicit shows from every angle, both on OF and then definitely on Babestation as well. In fact, I've got one in August. I've got one on my birthday week, which is in a couple of weeks. So my present. Wow. And she's really hot as well.
Will there be a birthday cake involved in the eating pussy?
Yeah.
Yeah, sex party round of applause. We love that.
Frosting and sprinkles, and I wanted to eat it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, the second question I had behind the guy girl stuff was that, and thank you for sharing that, because I think that's really important and kind of cool, and it gives sort of like a different angle, different viewpoint on that, because I think, you know, your fans that are watching this or listening to this, whenever that happens, you know, someday, they're going to be like super excited for it. I also think it's important for like people doing sex work to do the sex work that they want to be doing. Yes. You know what I mean? Like that's 100%. The other part.
And this is the thing. This was my thing. I think like not everything has a price, and it's sometimes nice to just have a limit a boundary that you're sticking to. And because, like I say, I mean, at one point, with Babestation, we do have a DMCA company, right? That handles like sort of anything that might just find itself out there. You know how these things go. It happens all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But at one point, so like when I've got that online, there's something I just want to keep a little bit private, and it's hard to have that. I mean, look, you know, I perform those shows for a reason. I enjoy it whilst I'm doing it. My audience enjoys it, and that's what I'm comfortable with doing. I love the fact that I said it before on here earlier. I love the fact that I get to wank for a living. I mean, like, anyone that says any different is nuts. You know, I get to go on stream for like 5 hours, bust a whole heap of nuts, you know, make someone else happy, and then have a great sleep after I'm ready to go to the gym the next day, you know? Dude. Like, it's great. So, so just keeping a little something to elevate. I mean, when I first started doing back in 2019, oh my goodness, I didn't even use toys then. It was it was tame. Yeah, I've definitely leveled up in the years that I've been in the industry. I think it's a natural progression. It happens. But that is something that I think, because obviously when I started, it was before lockdown. So it was before the whole OnlyFans and streaming platforms, OnlyFans and streaming platforms and things like that were around. Were around. But
they weren't popping yet.
Yeah, right? So, like, it was different. Like, when I used to do TV then, like, we weren't even allowed to use like explicit language. We had to use innuendos. This wasn't with Babestation, it was a different TV channel. And it was really different. So I've definitely seen how the industry has changed over the last 5 or 6 years and how many people come into it. I used to do model mentoring, so I would help girls that were new in the industry, giving them tips and tricks and just being someone to ask questions to, because sometimes, you know, there's all these abbreviations, and when you're new into the industry, people are like, oh, what the hell's that mean? Do you know what I mean? So it was just like someone to talk to if they needed some extra advice. And the one thing I would always say is just go at your own pace, because if you're planning on being in the industry for a while, you can grow to do that. You don't need to do like a full, you know, backdoor bandit gangbang, it's anal central like on your first week. Do you know what I mean? Build up to that. And also gets a chance for your audience to get to know you, and then have a rapport with you and bond with you. And then when you are doing your more higher level stuff, I actually feel happy with it, because it's people that I know, and I know what they like and they know what I enjoy. Like, I've got some great viewers that will come and do one-on-ones with me and take me through, and they're just happy to watch me enjoying myself. Yeah, like sometimes I'm doing stuff for people, but sometimes, you know, and you wouldn't get that if you were just, because I mean, look, everyone likes to have a look, right? So if you're doing crazy shit on your first week, then everyone's going to see it. But it's nice when you actually have someone who knows you and they can enjoy it with you as well.
Yeah. I think that's wonderful. I think that's like, that, I mean, you know, sex and like sex work and like even like being horny and like slutty, like it's all a connective tissue. And it's like,
Yeah.
people, the world is fucking, the weirder the world gets, the world is so fucking weird right now. And it's like the more, the weirder that it gets, the more we need more slutty
Yeah.
horniness, I think, because
Yeah.
we don't, it's stressful. You know what I mean? Like,
And you know what? I find as well, like, with everything being so out there now, there is a little change in the industry where I think for a bit, like a few years back, everything was so extreme. It was like shock factor. But after a while, like anything, you get desensitized by that as well. And everyone's going to have a look. Look, when all these things are breaking and the celebrity sex tapes come out, everyone has a look. Like, because it's curiosity, right? But once you've seen things, because you're just going for shock factor, it will wear off the novelty of that. Whereas, like, having a bit more of a bond and a rapport with someone and a bit more of a tease, a build up to things, rather than it just... I think sometimes maybe that's coming back round a bit. That's how it started off when I was in the industry. And then things got crazy. I mean, shout out to everybody that does what they're doing. There's no judgment from me whatsoever.
Right.
Do to what you feel comfortable. That is the great thing about this industry. It's all about your preference, which is the control there, which is the nice element.
No, I think you're absolutely, like, the last thing you just said, you absolutely nailed it, because it's like we do want, and in a way we need people like Lily Phillips and Bonnie Blue and like all the people just doing their wild shit. And at the same time, you also want to be able to have people like you who are like, hey, I'm going to slowly go up with my stuff, and it's going to be horny and one-on-one, and then maybe a girl will come in or whatever. Because I think people are wired both ways. I think that they want, at least, even if they're not going towards one or the other, they want the option for it to be there. And I think that's very important. You know what I mean?
And sometimes you're like, look, right, I watch porn. I don't watch the same thing every time. Sometimes I like things more sensual, and it's like everyone, there is a market for everything. So this is another thing why I say, when I used to do the mentoring as well, and I'd say to like performers, like, don't watch what the person next to you is doing, because being yourself and doing what you enjoy is the best way to generate, you know, your own like audience and engagement, because that's you being yourself and doing what you enjoy. Forget what the person next to you is doing. You know?
Sure. I mean, I think everyone has their greatest hits. I mean, if you look at my porn, like search history or whatever, there's clearly a couple of patterns there. But like from day to day, I'm telling you, it changes. And that, like, even like when I was like dating, you know, my last however many girlfriends, like we never really had the same kind of, unless we were like in a hurry or something, like when we had time to have sex, it was always, maybe we would pick from 4 or 5 different things, but there was always that idea for me to want to like push it further in terms of, okay, maybe we try this, maybe we try that, or
it's
like
about having fun, isn't it? Right?
Novelty is a lot.
And I say as well, like, it's always worth trying everything twice. It's there to be tried. It's there to be experienced. You try it, you might not like it, but that's why I say twice, because the first time it might not be done right. So you give it a good go, and you know what? I'm really experimental in the bedroom. I like to, and more than anything, because what like turns me on a lot is knowing what turns on the person I'm with. So like the more horny and like excited they're getting, the more I go into it, because who doesn't want to have that kind of heightened experience? When talking about sex, it's a passionate thing, isn't it?
No, I mean, for sure. And I also think, you know, it's not, it can change in ways that are so subtle and so small. Like, you know, sometimes it's like, I tend to be really dominant in the bedroom and shit, but But for me, it's more or less like, yes, I want to be dominant, but I also kind of don't give a fuck about my nut, right? I want them to fucking, I want to watch me give them this insane kind of, so what you were saying, or I guess that would be like a pleasure dom or something, but what you were saying like earlier about, you know, some people just want to watch you and shit. That's real. I mean, sometimes you just want to watch somebody fucking nut really hard.
I get it. Like, I love sucking dick because every time, I mean, like, that's always involved in my session. I love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing the person excited. It gets me excited. It turns me on. So, you know, there is definitely a massive aspect of that in that world for sure. And it's about sort of explaining that to people. I think when people like first figure out or hear that you do like webcam or whatever, they have like preconception, but then it's all stuff like this. It is really about enjoying your body, you know?
Yeah. So you mentioned, I mean, I think you mentioned squirting, you mentioned anal, I think. Yeah. And you mentioned all sorts of wild shit, like whatever. So, I mean, if you had to think of one or two occasions when you're on Babestation, you're doing your thing. I mean, was there like, what are the one or two like wildest things that have happened like live on camera with you?
I got a butt plug stuck in my ass.
Okay.
All the way up, yeah. Oh my God, I had to go to hospital midstream.
Right, no.
Actually, this is a butt plug related incident as well. So I've got a scar on my head here. I had to go get stitches. So on live on stream. This is all butt plug related stuff. So I'll go with the one that I lost first. I had like a butt plug, and it was like a beaded one. And I was coming towards the end of my show. I'd been live. I still had it in. And it was one of the silicone ones, so it was like soft. And I was just sat there and and only the handle came out. So
oh my God.
The bubble was stuck up my ass, so I had to then go and just that was actually a really scary moment, because like if your butt's different to your cooch, do you know what I mean? I just don't want to be the person that goes to A&E with this.
Oh my God.
So that happened when I was streaming, and that was at the end. So I was just panicking a bit, but I kept my cool, and then I got off and I just douched the hell out of my butthole until like it came out. So I was like, oh, fine. But then the one where I smashed my head open. So there's this room actually, and I had my set against this wall, and I had like a backdrop like this, and that wall's got a radiator on it. So I'd only just gone live. I was double stuffed. One in the pink and one in the stink. And I was getting buzzed. So my viewers were obviously setting off my interactive toys, and I was getting double buzzed. And obviously on like a high vibration, it is a very intense feeling, especially in your butt and your puss. So I felt, I fell forward and I smashed my head on the radiator, and it was like the corner of it. And I just remember pulling back, like it didn't hurt at all. I think it's because you've not got that many, like there's not that much padding here, and I could feel wet right as I was lifting my head up, and I was like, oh my God. And it was just like, you could see skull. Yeah. So
oh my God.
Yeah. And you know what the craziest thing was? Because it didn't hurt. I was pissed off. I was like, because I was just getting into it. I'd only just gone live. And then I went into the bathroom and I was trying to dab it. And I was thinking, oh, maybe it'll just stop and I can go back on stream. But then I realized it was like skull. And I was like, oh shit, I'm going to have to go and get this stitch. And then I had to go to hospital and explain. They're like, well, what happened? I was like, well, I had a dildo in my ass.
Did you tell them?
Yeah. Well, because they weren't gonna stitch it. They said it's only like it was small, but it was deep, right? And they were like, because it kept like open, and they were like, "Oh, we're not. You just let it heal." And I was like, "No. You're gonna need to do something with this. I'll tell you for why." And that's obviously, but I'm quite honest about everything like that. I feel like people need to know. If I don't give them the full information, then they might not give me the right course of treatment. So
Yeah, they're trying to get your fucking. Well, okay, what's your handle on Babestation? I want to make sure I check up on you later. Make sure you're all right.
Brooksie Brooks.
Yeah, because like they were like, "Oh my God, she's hardcore." Damn. That's wild.
Yeah. It's usually like, but so the probably the worst thing. I also had another situation where I squirted. So I squirted. That it landed on my laptop and shut everything down, all the electric went.
That is crazy. Like, right? And like I'm so glad because it's like such a cliche podcast question to ask, but I like there's like 2 or 3 things that I always have to ask, during these episodes, because to me, they are kind of like clickbaity, like fun, like, cliche questions to ask. But with people that are as like fun and as intelligent as you are, we get like answers that are so wide ranging and different and wild. And we love that shit. So thank you so much for indulging in that. The other question I had too, but I wanted to ask you was
my vagina and my butthole say you're welcome.
When you're collabing with a girl, like what are your favorite parts of collabing with another woman?
Just the fun of it, really. I usually only collab with girls I actually know and have a genuine friendship with, just so that because there's so many girls and there's so many people that I know to say hi to, but I don't necessarily have a full-on bond with. And I always think they flow so much better when you have a genuine connection with the girl, because your energy levels are similar, right? It's not like there's someone stuck like a deer in headlights and then one person just carrying it, which if you don't know each other, sometimes it can come across that way. So it's more the fun, because I always I'm very interactive on my live streams. So I'm always talking to my audience. I will go down the list of the people that are in my chat, call out their names, especially if people have got funny handles and stuff. I try and make everyone feel included in the stream, because sometimes people are just a bit nervous and they don't necessarily want to type or engage. So it's more like picking people out and making them feel seen. But when you're with someone else, you can really bounce off of that. And of course, it's nice to have some on you, that's of course the fun part, but it's nice. It's the actual show as well, the silly stuff you can do in amongst the naughty stuff. It's like the whole umbrella of it, really, for me. So they're quite, I mean, look, well, I have there's a few girls that I do regular GGs with, and one of my friends, Megan, oh my gosh, we exhausted by the end of it, because it just gets so naughty. We'll do 4 or 5 hours of just fucking wanking. It's insane, and it's great fun. But listen, we have a little cuddle and a nap after because we're like, oh.
Yeah, because you guys are so fucking cum drunk, exhausted, you gotta take that. You gotta take that nap covered in each other's cum for sure.
Yeah, just pass out. Do you know what? This is something I'm really proud of. So I actually have made 2 lesbians squirt for the first time.
Wow, nice job. What's your secret?
You just got to talk them through it for the first time, a practice round,
Yeah.
And I always because I'm so my nickname from my viewers is Squirtle from Pokemon. That's what, and the wettest queen of the north. So wettest pussy in the north is also what I get called. And it's like,
nice.
Because I am a pro squirter, I can talk someone through it. Because sometimes I think it's the feeling. Girls get a little bit, when it gets to that point, they get a bit nervous and think they should stop because they've never gone beyond that point. But to get a squirt, you've got to go beyond. So, and it's like I'm talking and and, so I was quite proud of that.
No, you should be super proud of that, because I think most women, I think I can only speak for what I know and like what I've heard and the things I've done, but they get to that if they haven't squirted before, because I've been with plenty of squirters, right? But there's a select few women that I've had and I've heard this story from other people too, is like they get right up to it and they're like, it feels like I'm gonna pee, right? And I don't know, I'm nervous, and I'm like, no, that's the part where you have to keep going.
You just gotta let it go and relax. You see, talking someone through that, you know what I mean? Because you can sort of, when people are moaning, when they're gonna get to that point, and then they're like, exactly when I'm not. No, obviously, like in a safe and a reciprocated environment, of course, but like
consensual, guys. Exactly, consensual, yeah, for sure.
But consensual environment. But it's that you got to get to that point, and it does feel crazy. My ex first me, like, listen, my ex was an ass, but the one thing that I have to say is he did teach me how to squirt. It's not teach me, but he was the one that made me do it for the first time. And then at first I always used it. This was before I got in the industry. At first I was, I was dancing, but I wasn't doing the cams and TV then. And I used to think it was just him. And then I figured I could do it on my own. So I was like... So
well, sometimes like the villain and a villain in our story will teach us some shit that
I'll always be grateful for that. I have to say, never forget him. That's for sure.
Oh, he's probably watching your stream all the time, so who knows?
Well, stranger things have happened. I've definitely had people I know on there for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of that, I have a couple, because we're getting close to the end of the episode here. I want to make sure we get this stuff in.
Yeah.
More cliche. No. Don't be sorry. They want to hear you talk. They don't want to hear me talk. I am just the avatar for the audience, so that's all that is. I can only do my best, guys. So she's got, we give you the wheel as the guest always. Take it and run with it. We love it. There's no such thing as talking too much, except I'm talking too much right now, so we're gonna shut up. Okay, so we don't kink shame on the show. I'm a weirdo. You're a weirdo. We love weird. Weird is good. That being said, though, what are some of one or two of like the more bizarre, strange, weird requests that you've gotten anywhere, really, on Babestation, somewhere else? Like, because fans can be very specific,
Oh yeah, sometimes it's stuff that you just don't even think is. I mean, look, right. When we get into this, because this is something I get asked a lot, the stuff I'm going to tell you is not what you can expect, okay? Because to me, again, not to kink shame, this is not something that I don't know how you would figure that this turns you on, but we've got I've had stuff like
I'm not surprised, but like, it's an elbow.
So this elbow fetish, we've got I've got someone that rings that. Obviously we've got people that like to be humiliated. We've got this guy called John the Wanker, and he literally likes you to read out his phone number on stream, so people can ring him and call him a wanker. But I mean, it's hard to find what's strange these days, because I'm really desensitized to it. So I've got a cannibal that rings. I've got a someone that has Wellington boots fetish.
Wow.
Yeah, so he likes you to make the sounds and describe you squelching in muddy Wellington boots. So, I mean, that's a bizarre one. And you've got a balloon fetish. Guy, these are people that really... I mean, look, everyone always expects you to say the like highly sexual stuff, right? But to me, that's not strange, because that's what I'm there to do, right? So, and because I indulge in it. But for me, it's just a bizarre, and everyone's, we're there to provide a service. So if that's what gets you on, who am I to judge? I've got a guy that he's got a balloon fetish. No, it's not latex.
He's a looner.
A balloon.
Yeah. Don't they call that like looning or something?
Oh, is it? I didn't know this, because I've only ever heard this one time. And it's like, when I speak to him, all I have to do is recreate the sounds of rubbing a balloon on myself. So just do squeaking sounds and stuff. So it's stuff like that, where it's like, at what point did you know that gave you a boner? Do you know what I mean? But
sure.
Each to their own, right?
To each their own, yeah.
But you've got all your stuff. I mean, there's stuff that I don't indulge in. I do have boundaries for some of the more taboo stuff. I don't do racial or religious fetishization.
Right.
That is an area where some people do like to indulge in. It's not something I accommodate. I also don't do hard sports. That gets asked quite a lot. I mean, I've had people ask to buy my shit before. So
wait, what can you explain what explain what that means, if you would, please?
So hard sports, so it's like water sports, but so it's like again, I don't indulge in that, but I mean, the amount of times I've been asked to buy my shit is crazy. And obviously, I get asked all the time. I don't think this is that weird, though. And I am actually open to doing this. But I get asked to bottle up my squirt and sell it. So for people. So I'm actually figuring out how I would transport that, because there's a lot of it, so I just think it's a bit of a shame for it to go to waste. And do you know what, not to sound like a big head, but I actually taste quite nice, because I feel like you have to taste yourself just so you know your products.
You got to sample.
But so I'm actually quite sweet, so I do think it's a waste. Everywhere all the time, there's so much cleaning up after a web show.
It's all that watermelon or whatever you said, the water that you...
Yeah, so sweet.
Yeah. That's what it is. That's
great.
You should definitely sell your squirt. I think that's a great idea, because you're right. Like, it's going to waste, and you're squirting 32 times in a session.
It was actually an hour. It was 45 minutes.
Come on, that's almost a squirt a minute, almost.
I know, and because this is the thing, that's why I'm saying that was my record. But what I usually do when I have someone that comes on that does like me to squirt a lot, and I know will come in camp for like a couple of hours to watch, I will get them to count. So we can, and if we get the right number, they'll get a prize or a treat or some content exclusive. Nice. Do you know what I mean? So a little treat. I like to give little treats out in my shows just to keep people, little prizes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, a little bonus for sure. We love that. Okay, final question before we tell everybody where to go find you and find your squirting and find you doing all kinds of awesome things with elbows and girls and anal and all the amazing things, right? So you mentioned that you are still a stripper, or you were?
Less now.
Okay.
Less now. Just because I just really like the lifestyle of the web streaming.
Sure.
It just fits.
Yeah.
So I do still do the club. Like, I'm working at the club this weekend, but I'm not there every week.
Totally makes sense.
Because I did that. I did it all over, and it's fun. But obviously there's different things like stripping. there's a lot of tequila involved. So it does mess me off of my health routine, my working out and my clean eating.
Yeah,
you know,
you gotta like,
and of course, like, you know, there's something that puts a little pep in my step, knowing that I'm waking up to get ready to wank. And there's just something that no other job can fill that purpose, you know?
Right. So your time, and that makes so much sense too. Your time in the strip club, right? This is a question that I love. Well, this is probably one of my favorite questions, and eventually we're going to take all of the answers that we get and take them and put them in like a special episode where it's just this question.
Okay.
What do you have? And this is cool because you're in the UK doing the stripping. Most of our stories have been in America, Canada, that whatever. So what are some of your wildest strip club stories? It can be anything. It doesn't have to be certain things, but if you've got like one or two,
want to go down this route.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. 3. I'm gonna try and keep it quick, and I'm gonna give you my top
you do
3
your
that
thing.
spring to mind. My strip club is a crazy place, by the way. It's not in the middle of the ghetto, but it is quite a ghetto area. So it's wild, okay? One time, this is a bit of there's like obviously a few gangs and stuff that are around there. And one time someone got their arm macheted off in the club. So that happened, like fully off. And then everyone got locked in for hours because no one was allowed to leave. So that wasn't great. So that was a bit wild. Yeah.
Did you see it happen?
Yeah, it was on the floor at the bottom of VIP. Everyone was there. It was really traumatizing, actually, to be honest with you.
Dude's arm got macheted off in the VIP. Holy fuck!
At the bottom of VIP, yeah, because there's stairs, which leads me on my next story. So I told you this was going to get. Well, now you understand why I laughed when you asked me. Because so these are all stories of different nature. Okay, so the second story is a little bit.
It's not all the same night.
No. It is a wild place, though. I have to say, it is insane there. But it's so much fun. It is, and we all have a great time. So. The next story, there was a customer that I'd been with all night. He was really drunk. And I kept asking him, like, are you sure you're okay to go for more time? But I think he was trying to do this whole, like, oh, I'm good, like bravado thing. So we went upstairs, but I could see. So I was sat on him because our strip club is a contact club. So I was straddled on him. I had like a phone on. And I had my robe on the floor. And when you can see someone like I don't know what you call it in the US, but like going to like they're going to be sick, right? Mm-hmm. It's, like. Not ran downstairs, tits out and everything, because our VIP is upstairs. I was like, give me, like a champagne bucket, need it now. Went running back upstairs. The customer had thrown up. He'd thrown up on my robe. So I had nothing now to wear. So I was just like, right, well, you're going to have to pay me a tip because I'm going to have to go home now. Anyway.
Yeah.
Walk him down, because I'd asked him a few times. I got him water, even before the transaction went through for the last stand. I checked to see if he was okay, because what I don't want is someone not enjoying themselves, obviously throwing up on me, or like wanting like a request to charge back. None of those things are good for me. So I'd rather just make sure, because there's plenty of people to have fun with. I don't need to take a vulnerable person. So anyway, I said to him, look, I'm going to have to go home. I helped him. So the stairs are like quite steep stairs, and they're like ones that have like, like a floating staircase almost, where they've got like gaps in the banisters and stuff. So he's walked down, and how he's done this, I do not know. He's fallen down the stairs. So the stairs lead out into the middle of the strip club floor, right? He's fallen down the stairs head first, got his leg twisted in the in the banister, so he was hanging upside down head first down the stairs in the club. I had to help him up, like, because I had his drinks, my shoes, everything, and this bucket and everything in my hand. All I could do was scream, because if I dropped everything, there'd have been glass everywhere. So I screamed because that was the first thing I could do to get other people's attention. At that point, there was a group of drunken lads, like boys, sat at the stool on a table near the stairs, and they were really drunk. They jumped up to help, right? But one of them fell over one of these stools. So now we've got this young, like, meathead passed out on the floor because he's tripped over. We've got these older gentlemen hanging from the stairs upside down. I'm dying with laughter at this point, and, like, with no clothes on. It was just insane. I was like, someone just like, please let me see the security footage of this. Like, I have to see this. So that happened. And then
oh my God.
Yeah, so that was really funny, I thought. Obviously, it was quite dramatic at the time, but, like, it was like
a horror movie.
Well, like, I was going to say, like, see, this is our different brains. I was going to say, like, a cheesy comedy.
That too. But, like, it just... it's like a bit of both. Like, I think horror movies are funny, so, like, I'm sick. So we're either way. Yeah, I get what
right. So I just thought it was so funny. It was just this guy, like, suspended from the, like, staircase upside down, and then I had to, like, unhook his foot out of the banister, right? And I had to unhook his foot out the banister, and then he jumped up and he was like, "Oh, I'm so embarrassed." I was like,
my ankle. Oh my God.
I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm fine. He was like, are we going to go back up and finish our dance? I was like, no, you need to go home. I was like, security will bring you a cab. So that happened. And then there was another one with a guy. He's, oh gosh. So there's this one thing about this guy, right? I try to avoid him because every time he comes into the club, he'll go for time with girls, right? And VIP. Yeah. I think this is why he's allowed to keep coming back. But every time he comes in, there's some type of bodily fluid that comes out of him. He's pissed himself in this dance multiple times. He's shit himself. At one point, he had shit on his arm and he was at the bar. And I'm like, girl, because there was this girl going to speak to him, right? And I was like, girl, listen, no money in the world could make me talk to someone that's got a skid mark on their arm. Like, I'm sorry. I was like, girl, do you, right? But you're a better woman than I am because absolutely not. Like, so, yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, look, you have the standard stuff of, like, people wanting domination. Like, I have, like, bottle busting guys that come in, like, trampling. You've got foot fetish people that just like to give you a foot massage. You've got, people that have, like, come in their pants. But I don't think those stories are as shocking as the ones I told you. So that was my
okay. I think, honestly, I've been doing this show almost 5 years asking that question. And I honestly think that you have the wildest story, the two wildest stories. Because, like, that, and when I put the special together, I'm going to, like, highlight those stories. So I think you win. I think you win. Brooksie Brooks, thank you so much for being with me on Sex Party this week. Let's tell these horny, jaw-dropped partygoers in the audience, right? They're just like, wow, holy fuck,
this
what a way to end
crazy. I told you, didn't I tell you, people from the north of the UK are nuts. Like,
but we love that you're nuts, and they love that you're nuts. Let's tell them where they can find you online. Yep. First of all, where they can find you online, just like Instagram and Twitter, but more importantly, where they can dump champagne buckets full of... Well, they're going to want that. Let's get you paid first.
So I'm Brooksie Brooks, try and keep it simple for everybody on Instagram, Brooksie Brooks _, Brooksie Brooks #2 on Twitter or X. That's where you can find me. Those are my socials. And Babestation. I am Brooksie Brooks, the only one on there. And I stream every, so this will be UK times, but every Tuesday afternoon till the early hours of the morning. And then every Friday daytime till the early evening. Every week. Sometimes I'll do extra days, but those are my regular ones. So yeah, you can catch me at any point there. Babestation is accessible all over the world. Just type it into Google, Babestation, and it will bring up our link. And it's really, we've recently updated our site over the last year, and it's really easy to use, top up, put credits on, all of those kind of things. And we always have lots of special offers and discounts going on. So definitely check that out. Also, if you do sign up as a VIP member, we have giveaways each month and free credit giveaways, and they have like a chance where you can win free stuff. So yeah, check all of that out.
I mean, they're already on their way. I would love to have you back. I mean, how could they not be on their way over there to Babestation after seeing this or hearing this? I mean, Jesus Christ. They are, if they haven't left already, they're leaving now to go check you out.
So if there's girls as well that you want to check out that might not be live at the time, you can go onto our page. We have content that's free for you to see, and also content that you can pay to see, which is a little bit more explicit on our profile pages. So even if we're not live, you can check out what the stuff that we do.
Very cool. Well, I would love to have you back on the show. We'll have to set that up in the future. I will talk to you about that when we stop recording here in a second. But thank you so much for being with me this week.
No, it's been so much fun.
We will talk soon for sure. Huge thank you to my guest, Brooksie Brooks, for being with me on the show this week. Was that not the craziest fucking thing you ever heard in your life? I mean, I told you in the intro it was going to be nuts. And it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. If you're loving guests like Brooksie, you want to see her again, she will be back on the show in the future. But let's say you're loving her. You want to make sure you go check out everything she's doing over on Babestation, because why wouldn't you at this point? Head over to Babestation, check it out, have some fun, enjoy yourself. If you're loving guests like Brooksie, but let's just say you're loving all of the guests, you want to make sure you never miss an amazing guest, and you're still on board with all my wacky bullshit as a host. You don't want to miss an episode. What can you do, right? Well, if you're listening to this on platforms like Apple and Spotify, you could leave a rating, you could leave a review. I will be drunk in the future, and I will be reading those reviews. I will look at all of those ratings. 4-star, 5-star, please. I mean, anything. Rate it 1-star. Whatever you want to do. I will read all of that. I consider all of it attention and appreciation, and I love it so much. But forget about me and what I need when I'm drunk. Let's talk about what you need. Just subscribe to the show, so that way you never miss a new episode every single week. Forget about leaving a rating. Forget about leaving a review. You could still do that, but just subscribe to the show, especially if you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts, or you think you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts. They've been doing this strange thing where they're unsubscribing people from certain podcasts. So let's check out yours. Go over to Apple Podcasts, go to Sex Party with Dustin Rybka. In the upper right-hand corner, if you see a pause button, unfortunately, your subscription has been paused to this podcast. Don't panic. Simply tap the pause button, toggle on down to resume subscription, resume download, one of those two. Hit that, boom, you are resubscribed. If you're watching on YouTube, I love you, I see you, I appreciate you. If you're watching on YouTube, when you heard that insane strip club story, I mean, what was your reaction? Can you believe that? Let me know your reaction in the comments. We'll talk about it. It's absolutely fucking insane. I don't know that I'll get over that for a while. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to show some sort of emotion towards the show, love, hate, desire, rage, confusion, bewilderment, sadness, anything, right? And you also want to make sure you never miss a new episode every single week. What can you do? You could like this video. You could dislike this video. You could do that to all the videos. You could leave a comment, positive or negative. I will get back on this video, on all the videos. I will get back to every single comment that comes in, whether it's nasty or nice. Just give me some time. But the main thing you want to make sure you do is just subscribe to the channel, so you never miss a new episode every single Wednesday. As always, I'm available in the DMs on Instagram, and I will see you all right back here next week.
Thanks for listening. The party continues next week. Click subscribe and let's make this a regular thing. Follow the show on Instagram and Twitter at SexPartyFM. Follow Dustin at Dustin Rybka.